Alright, today we are going to talk about converting improper fractions to mixed numbers. I know that I've talked about this before, but I wanted to just put a very clear step-by-step method. Really, this is just a 2 steps, basically. So, step 1, divide the numerator, the top number, by the denominator, the bottom number, noting the quotient, the answer, and the remainder. The quotient becomes the whole number, the big number and the mixed number. The remainder becomes the numerator, and the denominator stays the same. So let's see this in action. Let's go for 23 sevenths. How about that? Okay, so what we're doing is we're just dividing 23 divided by 7. So the fraction bar is literally the same as a division sign. So 23 over 7 becomes 23 divided by 7, or 7 23, right, in a little, in the standard algorithm. So 7 goes into 23 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. I subtract. I'm left with the remainder of 2. So, the answer is 3 remainder 2. Okay? So, I divided the numerator by the denominator. The quotient is the 3. And the remainder is 2. Okay, so it says the quotient becomes the whole number, which is the big number, 3. The remainder becomes the numerator, or the top 2. The denominator stays the same, so it's 7. And so this, the 7, right, it's the denominator over here, stays the same, so it's 3 and 2 sevenths. And the reason this works is because 7 sevenths equals 1. So to get 23 sevenths, you would have to add 7 sevenths plus 7 sevenths. That would give us 14 sevenths plus 7 sevenths. That would give us 21 sevenths. And then 2 sevenths for the remaining 2. And this equals 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 sevenths. So that is 3 and 2 sevenths. So that is why that works. Let's go for another example. How about 68 eighths. Get some bigger numbers in here. Alright, so all we're going to do is divide. And I know that it's an improper fraction. The definition of an improper fraction is a fraction where the numerator is bigger than a denominator. And when the numerator is bigger than the denominator, it means that it is greater than 1. So an improper fraction is a fraction that is greater than 1 because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So we need to divide. 8 goes into 68. I know 8 goes into 68 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. One thing I want to point out is if you do not know your addition or your multiplication and division, you really should memorize it. It's extremely important to know your multiplication and division. For single digit numbers, for sure. Because of stuff like this. You're going to miss a lot of things if you don't know it. Anyway, all right, so 68 minus 64 equals 4. So then we have a remainder of 4. The quotient becomes the big number. The remainder becomes the numerator. The denominator stays the same. Or is the, I believe this is the divisor. So, yeah. But you can just take the denominator from the improper fraction. So it's 8 and 4/8. But 8 and 4/8 is not, that wouldn't be an answer on a multiple choice test because it's not reduced. We need to reduce 4/8. And to do that, you need to find the, I guess, the biggest common factor. And the factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. The factors of 8, right, the numbers that multiply to get to 8 are 1, 8, 2, and 4. So 4, we can divide both of these by 4. And 4/8 actually equals 1/2. So 68/8 actually equals 8 and a half. Because 4/8 equals 1/2. And this is the answer that you would find on a multiple choice test because it is reduced, it's simplified, those mean the same thing. And basically it just means that your fraction is the smallest equivalent fraction. There's no way to do, I guess, reduce these numbers anymore and keep the fraction equal to the same thing, right? 1/2 is the reduced fraction. So hopefully this helps. I will put this text in the description of the video, but I would suggest just, maybe writing this down and then just practicing a few times. And basically you want to get to a point where maybe for the first few you look at the steps, figure it out, and then after a while it'll just become natural and you won't even have to look at the steps anymore. So that's kind of where you want to get to. So just practice it for a while. Just start writing out improper fractions, converting them to mixed numbers. Start writing out mixed numbers, convert them to improper fractions using the other video I made. Because it's extremely important to be able to do that. And also make sure that you're reducing the fractions.